have here with Beachbody. And that's one thing that I do a lot of sharing. I don't post a lot on Facebook like Greg does, and Greg doesn't really post that much either. But when I do post, it's always about the community. Usually, it's always about the groups that I'm in. It's always about how much fun that we're having, the results that people are getting, the transformations that are happening, my own transformation that has happened, things like that. And I never once say, and you can get this too if you just buy this and click here and blah, blah, blah. By doing that, people will reach out to me if they want to be part of this. But also what I do, and we're getting into the second part of the call here about inviting, is that whenever I do have, and just to give you an example, I have a new group which is starting in 2 weeks. So in what I call my promotional phase right now, where on Facebook I will be promoting the new group, and I use our current group that we have right now, talking about all the people in there, how much fun we're having. I create images from all the different prize drawings that we did and things like that. But I mean, if you guys don't have a past group like that before, that's okay, but I'm sure you're all in some group that you can talk about. But then what I do is I have a Google form. So I'll ask people to do that. I'll ask people to go, and if you're interested about coming and joining us for the group, click this link and fill out this short form. And that's exactly what it is. It's a Google form. It asks a couple simple questions about their first name, last name, email address. And then I think on this form for this new group, I have a question that asks them, their fitness level and nutrition, how they feel about it. When you wake up in the morning, can you rate how you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? And I have another question in there, but nothing too long. And then people will fill it out. And then I will get into the private messaging mode, where I will reach out to them now that I have their email, but I'll also reach out to them if we're friends on Facebook with a private message. And then I start doing the connect part of that. I was sharing, and now I'm connecting with them and trying to find out, what their goals are and things like that. Now I'm in the inviting stage. Sorry, Greg, I kind of went into that. But that was my one social media don't vomit sales on people.
Yeah, and never post a link, right? That was key.
A link to your Team Beachbody website or a link to a product. But it's okay if you post a link to an event that you're going to do, or like I just said, like a Google form where someone can go and fill it out. That's okay, but not anywhere where they're going to click it on and then it's going to come up, $160 challenge pack. What? Why did she post this? Why is it sending me? Why is she sending me here?
Also, your goal when you post, make sure you post with a purpose, right? Your goal is to get people to engage, right? So if all you're doing is posting about your workout, right? Hey, I completed P90X3 core today. So what, right? If that's all you're doing, so what, right? So you got to think, how can I get people to engage? So in order for them to engage, they need to like, comment, share, right? Those are the things, right? So funny things are definitely things that people are going to comment and share on. But even if your workout or whatever, make it personal. Tell your story, right? Share your struggles, right? It doesn't all have to be happy roses, right? Share what you're struggling with. But something else that you can do is get people to comment, right? So ask questions, right? It's great to end your post with a question, right? Like, does anybody else struggle with this? Did anybody else do their workout today? Just to get people commenting. So why do you want people to comment or to engage with your post? Because that builds Facebook affinity, okay? So what is Facebook affinity? That means that people will see your post. So let's say that, let's say you have 1,000 friends right now. Do you know when you post something that it only goes out to about 5% of your friends? And if they don't engage with your post, it's not going to go very much further, right? That's why you think that you did this awesome post, but only 5 people like it. That's because only 5 people saw it, or you know what I mean? Like a small portion of your friends actually saw the post, okay? So by you creating that affinity with people, right, by getting them to like, comment, and also by you liking and commenting on their stuff, that also builds affinity. The same with private messaging. If you're private messaging people, they're going to see your posts and you're going to see their posts. See, Facebook is smart, right? So that's why you see coaches, if you follow any of the top coaches or people who are good at social media, they'll just, they'll, like, girls will, will hold up 2 dresses, which one, the blue or the red one, right? It's not really like they want your opinion. They probably already bought the dress. They just want you to engage and to comment so that they build that affinity so that you will start seeing their posts, okay? And so that when they do the call to action where they invite you to one of their free groups or to their challenge groups, you're gonna see it, okay? That's the goal. That's, I just demystified Facebook and social media for you, okay? That's all you gotta do. So let's get into inviting, and we'll talk about different strategies for inviting and different ways of inviting and handling responses and follow-ups and objections and all that good stuff. So Brian, you want to start us out with inviting?
Yeah, I went over a little bit of this before with having that, Greg mentioned it, that call to action post where you've built up your Facebook affinity, you've been posting for a week or whatever, and now it's time to really do a call to action, which is inviting someone to a group, whether it's going to be a free group or a paid group. And we use those words free and paid. Basically what that means is a free group is going to be usually people that maybe you're not friends with yet, that you're going to be friends with, or people that are not Team Beachbody customers, and in that free group, you're not doing a Team Beachbody program, you're not doing Shakeology. They could be a 5-day water challenge, it could be a crock pot challenge, it could be a healthy eating challenge, 7 days. It could be something that doesn't even have to do with fitness or nutrition. It could be like trying to think, a couple of my coaches do some free groups where and what was the last one she did? Something where, you don't lie for a day or for the week, or I don't know, something like that. But that's what it is, a free group. It's not with Team Beachbody. Now, a paid group is a group where it is a customer of yours and it is somebody who has bought a product, and then you plug them into that group. For all of my groups, whether I'm doing a free group or a paid group, I'm always creating an event for it. With Facebook, you can create events. And an event is basically just, it looks kind of like a group because you can create a cover photo for it. You can put in a date and a time and a message, and then people could actually click going or interested or not going. So every group that I do, I have an event, and that's the link that is my call to action. I have my Google form that I use as well, and then I ask people to come and join the event for the group. And then within the event itself, before the group starts, I can even make more posts in there, letting people know about the group and what's coming up and getting the excitement going. And what I do, if it's a free group, there's certain criteria that I have. You don't have to be a Beachbody customer of mine, but you do have to, like my page and accept my friend request if I'm not a friend of yours yet. This way I tell everyone, you got to, accept, I sent you a friend request, please accept it, and then like my page. This way, when you get added to the group, I'll be sure to be able to add you to the group first off, and then second off, you'll be able to get all of the posts and all the information. So using an event, personally messaging people with an invite to a group is something that I also do. Come on, squeakers. All those people that comment on your post, if you're posting about, like Greg talked about, an added value post, where you're not just reporting, but you're talking about, your journey. You're sharing a little piece of your story. You're trying to inspire and motivate. A lot of times I do that with my images that I do. I'll put my own captions on my images instead of using stock images somewhere. It's an image of myself, maybe doing my workout with a caption, and then I kind of talk about that caption. And then people will comment. And then some of those comments, I will personally message those people and let them know, hey, I got this amazing group coming up. I'm doing it with a couple different coaches, Beachbody coaches. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. Is this something that you might be interested in? I don't start it with, hey, girl. I don't know if you guys was that posted in Engage Coach Network, or was it just? Yeah. I mean, that works, but it doesn't kind of work for Greg and I. I think you guys would get offended if I said, hey, girl, get over here and get in the group. But I asked people, I said, if, would this be something if you could lose, 20 pounds by July 4th, is this something you'd be interested in doing? If so, let me know, because I only have a few spots left in my new group that's opening up. And if you're really interested in it, I'd love to plug you into that group. So I do that with my personal messages. Anything, Greg?
Yeah. Since you're talking about the free groups, let's tell them about our idea. On June 29th, okay, mark that calendar. We're gonna run a free group together, okay? So basically we're gonna help you run your first free group, okay? It'll be a 7-day clean eating, water type challenge. Brian and I will, create the group, and we'll be in the group, and we can, help out. But I'm not inviting people to the group. The group is for you guys, right? We want you to invite to the group, and you guys are going to be running the group. Obviously we're going to be there to help you, to answer questions and stuff like that. But it's always easier, I don't know if Kara, maybe you have already done free groups or whatever, so you might, have already be doing your own or whatever. But a lot of you newer coaches probably have never done a free group. It can be scary. It could be overwhelming. So that's why we're just offering this, that, we'll all do one together the week of the 29th. Okay. So we're going to create the group, and we're going to post it, and then you can start inviting. And just how you want to invite people to the free group is like what Brian said. You can create an event. That's a great way. You just say it's going to be a clean eating group. Who wants to take a clean eating challenge for 7 days to see if they can eat clean and, get enough water, to drink or whatever for 7 days? Who wants to join me? You can create an event for that and have people click going if they're interested. You could also just make a post on your timeline and just, see who in your warm market. Right? So, you want to start posting, right? We talked about that. And when you post, you want to, tell your story, right? If you have a transformation story, you can share that, right? If you haven't told people you're a coach yet, why not make a post about it? Just tell people, like, what has Beachbody done for you? Why have you decided to become a coach? And just, tell them why you love, Beachbody and why you decided to become a coach. And then you could say, and coming up in 2 weeks, starting on the 29th, I'm going to be offering a free clean eating group to help you guys with what I've learned so far. Who would be interested in that? And you probably get a lot of people that were interested. You could also do, hopefully you saw that post that Brian was talking about where I gave that example from Chitana with the little colored hearts, right? Did everybody see that? Yeah. Well, you could do something similar to that. It's like, who would be interested in a 7-day clean eating group that I'm going to be running, where I'm going to teach you how to eat clean, and we're going to keep each other accountable. Leave a a blue star if you're interested, a yellow star if you want more information, or a red star if you're in, something like that. You can always, use those ideas and make it fun, right? And of course, events work too, because people can share your event with their friends and invite their friends. And
that's another good point that Greg just mentioned is when you're talking to people, tell them, say, listen, this group's going to be awesome. Tell your friends about it. Tell your friends, you can get as many people as you want to come into this group. Greg and I have done this before where we've also offered prizes for who gets the most referrals, who's going to get the most people that's going to come and join this 7-day clean eating group. So I know I mentioned before about my paid groups where I say there's only a few spots left, but with a free group, you want to have as many people as you can get into that free group. And it doesn't matter where they're, from, friends, family, friends of friends of friends, just get everyone in there all together. And another thing Greg was saying about, sharing your story with your posts and stuff, just make sure we want to do like breadcrumbs, that we don't want to share. You don't want to share everything in like one post and then have it like, 15, 20 paragraphs. People don't read all of that stuff, so it's short things. But if you're consistent with your posting, if you're doing it 2-3 times a day and you're posting every day on Facebook, you can share a little bit here, share a little bit there, share a little bit there, and people are going to pick up on it. But you don't have to, throw everything out there in one post that you came out as a coach and here's my transformation and here is, here are my goals and here is what I've accomplished so far and this and that and that. That's just too much for someone to read.
Yeah, I heard somebody talk like, let's say you went to Summit, right? And Summit, you're going to get like, overwhelmed, right? I mean, not overwhelmed in a bad way, but like in a good way. There's going to be so much information and super workouts. You're going to meet all the trainers. You're going to hang out with your team and you're going to get all this stuff, right? Well, I think it was one of the Summit speakers that said, don't go and post, 94 pictures, with, everything that you've done at Summit, right? Because the only person that's going to click through 94 pictures is your mom, right? You want to breadcrumb it. So you want to post a picture of Chalene Johnson speaking on stage and just share what you got out of that, and then later post about the super workout and how great that was, and the next day you can post about something else, so you could breadcrumb that for a week, and you can do that with other things as well, like your workouts or your transformation stories or other things. So definitely, get good at telling stories. It doesn't have to be like your personal transformation story. It's just stories, right? So what do we have? We have this all access script that I'll share in the chat.
Yeah, Greg's sharing the all access challenge pack script that is that you can go through, you can read, and it gives you tips on how to, once you have talked to somebody, once you went through these steps of inviting, we're going to run our free group. Then the free group is over. We're going to have another call to action, and this is when you talk to them about our paid groups and talk to them about their goals, and that's when we start sharing about Shakeology and the products. And the all access, you guys know, is the #1 product that Beachbody offers. Well, the coaching opportunity is the #1. So the all access challenge pack is the #2 product that Beachbody offers because it comes with everything, right? You get everything with it. So this script kind of highlights how to approach people about it, how to talk about it, all the highlights of it. So Greg posted it in the chat. I will post it in my chat group for, I think, Nicole and Samara, who is in there.
And it's got multiple sheets. So it's got example,
yes,
like of emails you could send to people, example posts. It's got example private messages, example text, example everything. Okay. So why all access pass? Well, because I don't sell anything else now. And most coaches don't either, right? It's like, if somebody says that they're interested, Brian, you're a loud typer.
I'm sorry, let me mute myself.
So if somebody is interested, like in your post, or interested in Beachbody, or they want to know what you're doing, you know, you can tell them, hey, I'm doing 21 Days Fix. But when they say, well, can I get that? You know, you never pitch them, yeah, you can get the 21 Day Fix, you know, DVD set, right, for $59. No, you know, and it doesn't matter if they're interested in Shakeology or if they're interested in a workout program. I always pitch them the All Access Challenge Pack, because you guys know it's $160 for everything that they need, right? They get the portion control containers, they get the Shakeology bottle, they get 30 days of Shakeology, and they get every single workout program for $160, right? So it doesn't matter. That's the solution, right? It doesn't matter what they're asking about, what they're interested in. That is the solution, okay? Now, you know, if someone really can't do Shakeology, or they don't have Wi-Fi or whatever, well, then you can fall back to, you know, some of the other solutions, like, well, you can get it on DVD or whatever, you know, or you could just get the All Access Pass without Shakeology. But, you know, 99% of the time, I can talk somebody into the All Access Pass, because that is the best deal for them, you know. And it's also the best deal for us as coaches, right? Because you are going to get 2 Success Club points. You are going to get the $50 commission, you know. It's just going to be better for them and better for you. So that's why I suggest that. And that's why we had a whole bunch of 5 stars put that scripts together when it originally came out. So check it out. It's great. So Brian, how do you handle responses when somebody says they're interested in one of your calls to action?
Okay, I heard my name. Sorry, I was typing loudly. What?
Talk about responses. How do you handle responses?
Responses. So if someone is interested, they message me back and they're interested in the group, or they fill out my form that I was talking about. The first thing that I want to do is I want to form them. Okay, I don't know if you guys heard of forming, where you want to ask them questions. You want to get to know them a little bit better. I talk to them about their goals, exactly what are they looking for, whether they're fitness goals, nutrition goals. And then we talk, we go back and forth, and we try to figure out what the right program is for them. And obviously with the All Access Challenge Pack, you know, that is something that I talk about all the time with them, that this is what you're going to get. You're going to get the All Access Challenge Pack, because you're going to have access to everything. But now we need to break it down and get a plan going with you. You know, what program are you going to do first? I'm going to show you how to use the Beachbody On Demand, and what, you know, how to get the materials off of it, and you know, the meal plans that you're going to use, and even start showing them some videos of some of the programs that I think is going to work with them. You know, so and then I'm saying, you know, and this is going to be something that's going to be a commitment that you're, you know, with the All Access, you're never going to have to order another program ever again. So, you know, I'm going to work with you. We're going to find the right program for you, and then we're going to continue to work together. So that's the back and forth that we have. I never, you know, I don't start the first conversation with, oh, awesome, you filled out my form, or you commented on my post. Now, once again, here's the link to buy. This is what you need, the All Access Challenge Pack. There's plenty of programs in there. You're going to find one that you like, and you're going to get this shake, you know, that you're going to drink every day. No, you have to, you know, talk to them. Sometimes people are ready right away, and they're like, I'm in, just tell me what to do. You know, in that case, I will. But usually what people do is, you know, you have to talk to them. You have to figure out exactly where they are and where they want to go. And that's what I do. And a lot of times I have conversations, and they, you know, for a few days going back and forth before someone ever says, all right, I'm ready to do this. Now what do I do? And then that's when I can send them my link to, you know, to get the All Access Challenge Pack. Or maybe if they didn't want that, maybe their internet is not great. Maybe they prefer DVDs. So I talk to them about the regular challenge pack. where you can get the physical copies of the program that we've discussed that they're going to do, and Shakeology. And I talk about Shakeology a lot with them, why they need Shakeology. And this call isn't about Shakeology, but we can spend hours talking about Shakeology and why you need to be doing it in order to get the results that you want. But so I talk to them a lot about that too. And I'll even get them on the phone if they want, you know, and say, hey, listen, you want to talk on the phone? I'll go over everything that's, you know, and answer your questions in real time. Does everyone here know how to share links to all the products? So if someone's interested in the All Access Pass, can you guys send them a link that will take them right to your page, your store? Yeah, can I see Karen and Nicole? Okay, we have 2 other people on the phone, so I don't know if you're nodding or shaking your head. But in the back office, it's really awesome. It's really simple. If you go to the My Business tab, after you log into your Coach Online office, and then you go down to Forms, My Forms, and you click that, you scroll down a little bit, maybe halfway down the page, and you're going to see, I forget the exact name for it, but it's creating coach links or product links. And you click that on, and all you have to do is enter your Coach ID. If you guys don't know your Coach ID, it's right there as soon as you log into your online office up on the left-hand corner. That's your Coach ID. Believe me, if you don't know it yet, you will know it and you will have it memorized. You enter your Coach ID on this form, you click submit, and boom, it populates everything. This is usually the time that Greg shares the screen, but I see he's not doing that. Well, we have people, the people on the phone won't be able to see it.
Right.
So, but then you just put in your Coach ID, hit submit, and not only every product, the All Access Challenge Pack is right up there at the top. It gives you the link, and then you just copy it, and that's the link you can send to people. But it gives you all the products, you know, all Beachbody. Say somebody contacted me the other day to get a shaker cup. They couldn't find it in the store, Shakeology shaker cup. So I went in here. I didn't know where it was, but I went in here. I put in my ID, and then I did a Control F, and I searched for, you know, cup or whatever, and it came up. That's the 3-day refresh cup. It's down closer to the bottom.
Premium shaker cup.
That's the premium one, but there's just the regular one, not the glass one either. But anyway, you could see, you know, every single product that's in the Team Beachbody store is there, and that's the 6-pack. That's the one I almost sent them, but it's not the 6-pack one. Maybe I wasn't cup that I searched under. Search under something else then maybe. But everything is there, and this is going to be pretty important in a couple weeks, guys, because the summer sale, are they going to tout it as the summer sale or the spring sale, Greg?
Summer sale.
Okay. The summer sale is coming up in a couple weeks, and there's going to be tons of products that are going to be on sale, and trust me, a lot of people are going to be asking, you know, to get these products, and then here you can send them these links.
Also, very important at the bottom of this are your personal links, right? So you can, let's see, well, you know, you have your Shakeology or whatever, but the membership, right? If you want somebody to sign up as a free customer under you, there's the link for that. If you want somebody to sign up as a club member with, you know, all access, right? As a club member only. You give them that link. If you want somebody to sign up as a coach under you, you give them this link, right? So these are very important. There's a Beachbody Challenge link, but those are the 3 that are basically, you know, that I use all the time, in addition to the All Access Challenge Pack, which is the very first one, right? And also they're coming out with a performance one, which I was very happy about, right, in June. So they're also going to have an all access with performance instead of Shakeology. So I assume it'll be the same price, $160. So that'll be awesome. All right.
It will be. Yeah.
Now, what happened to my little stop share? Oh, here we go. Okay, so what else do we need to talk about? So follow-ups and objections, right? You want to just make sure that once you start a conversation, right, or once people comment, you definitely want to follow up with them because, a lot of times you're going to feel like you're bugging people, but until they tell you no, a lot of times it means not yet or not right now, or check back with me next month or check back with me next week. I get this all the time, I would love to, but I don't get paid until Saturday. So I have to, put a note. I set a little event in my calendar that I follow up with that person. Or maybe they'll say, no, not right now, but maybe next month, so, or if they even just say, no, not right now, I can't afford it or whatever, I'll say, would it be all right if I follow up with you next month when I start my new group? And they always say yes. So I'll follow up with them again, right? So always track people that you've been in contact with, however you want to do that, paper and pen, a notebook. I use a Google spreadsheet, Google Doc. I love those. So I keep track of everybody that I talk to. I keep notes of what we talked about, and I keep a date of when I last talked to them. And that's my list, right? And I can always go back to that list, and I'm always adding to that list. So follow-ups are key, right? I mean, it's a lot of times you have to talk to people many, many times before they're ready to get started. Objections, right? So the number one objection that you're always going to get is the price objection, right? So I typically will combat that with, you got to explain the value of what they're getting, right? That's why, Brian said, never just give them a link, right, to the product, right? Because there's no explanation with that link. They don't really know what they're getting, right? The first question out of people's mouths is going to be, how much does it cost? Well, if you just say, well, $160, well, they're immediately going to be turned off. $160 for a workout program, I ain't doing that. Or for a shake, I can get it at Walmart for $15, So you got to explain the value and what they're getting, right? I tell them, especially with the All Access Pass, hey, you're getting every single program that Beachbody has ever done, right? Ever created. You're getting all the bonus DVDs, the deluxe DVDs, the exclusive, workouts. You're getting everything. You're getting like over 600 workouts, right? And that's all included for 1 year, right? Plus you're getting all the new programs that are coming out, like Shift Shop, which I'm in the test group for, and Shaun T Week, which is coming out next month. And tomorrow, don't forget that we have a program coming out tomorrow, the UV2, right? Which may not be for us, right? But I'm sure we know a lot of people that are really out of shape and are just getting off the couch who could benefit from UV2. So don't forget about that. That comes out tomorrow.
There's in our I'm Here to Help group with Carl, he made that amazing post about, he loves it when people give that objection of, it's too expensive or I can't afford it because that is just, and that's for me too. That is just fuel that gives me because how much are you willing to spend on your health? How much are you willing to spend to feel good every day? How much are you willing to spend to be a role model for your family, to be an example? What you can put a price tag on that. It's just, I'm going to share that in my coach group tomorrow. Let me read real quick at the end of it because it's really awesome. He says, honestly, the it's too expensive or what's it cost hurdle is my favorite objection because this is the one you can master like a health angel ninja if you don't hide from it, but you take it on like a boss. This is where you can quickly get to the point of whether a person values their health, themselves, and their family's health, or they don't. And if they don't, you just save a ton of time trying to convince them otherwise. They can stay a prospect for when they realize the truth about the importance of their health and offer the best value in the business. We deliver the total package. Okay, but what he says here is so important because this is one you can master if you don't hide from it, but you take it on like a boss. So many coaches, new coaches, don't even talk to people because they're so afraid that someone's going to say no, or that someone's going to say it's too expensive, and they don't know what to say after that. Trust me, guys, if you just take that on like a boss, if somebody, says that to you, that's why it's so important that our vital behaviors being proof of the product, and that you have to do it every single day, that you have to drink this amazing shake every single day, so you can tell people how you feel, what it's done for you, that you have to do these workout programs every day, so you can tell people how you feel and what it's done for you and how it's changed your life. That confidence comes from that. So whenever somebody, comes and says, that's just too expensive. So $160 is cost too much, for you to finally, fit into those jeans that you're in the closet for 15 years, or for you to finally have the doctor say to you that, oh my God, your cholesterol is down, your blood pressure is down, you're not pre-diabetic anymore. How much money is that worth to you to have a doctor say that to you? It's, these are the things, and I talk to my people like this. I talk to my prospects like this. I tell them, it's why one of the questions I ask everybody when they want to join, one of my groups is, how do you feel? Rate yourself on a 1 to 10. And people will put, well, in the morning I wake up, I don't like the way I look. I don't have much energy, so I'm a 3, I'm a 2. And then later on, after I've been talking to them and they come back and they say, oh, $160? No, that's too expensive. Sorry. It's too expensive to take you from feeling like a 2 in the morning to feeling like a 7 or an 8. How's it going to feel when you wake up in the morning and you feel like a 7, an 8, when you feel so amazing with so much energy, when you are in a great mood, when you're stepping on that scale and you see it going down, or those inches are coming off your waist, when you're fitting into those clothes, when you're just having so much confidence, that you told me that you felt like a 2. I'm trying to get you to a 7, an 8, and then a 10. And this is how we're going to do it. So I understand if you're not ready yet, that's perfectly fine. Maybe in a couple months, I'll contact you again. But if you are ready, I'd still love to have you in my group, so that's kind of how I approach it.
Yeah. And, if that doesn't work, I will offer them like a gift. Like, hey, what if I give you a $20 Amazon gift card? Would you do it then? And a lot of times that's enough to push them over the edge. It's like you've shown them all the value, but now you're giving them a gift back from your commission, obviously. But a lot of times that's enough to push people over the edge. You'll see a lot of times people advertise like, get this from me this month and you get a Fixate cookbook along with it, right? That's the type of thing, right? Where the coach is offering the gift back. So whatever it takes, that's my philosophy, is whatever it takes to get you into the All Access Challenge Pack. That's what I'm, that's what I'll try to do. So, anything else before we wrap up?
You guys have any questions? I see Samara.
Yeah.
You're on the phone now. I see you. Yay. I see your kitty cat.
Well, yeah, the new coaches that are still on now at 9 o'clock, we are going to continue the topic about the fear of inviting, related to the inviting topic that we've been talking about. But now we have our business builders call, and, this is open to anyone every Monday night at 9 p.m. And tonight we're talking about the fear of inviting. This is more of a discussion, like a round table. We go around and everybody gives their input of their fear of inviting, what fear they had and how they overcame it. And, you get to hear from other people just other than me and Brian. So if you want to hang around, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we'll see you next week at 8.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.